So this is a Lunar Stellar. Going to take you around the van and show you how it operates. Front of the van, you've got your hitch, jockey wheel and handbrake. This is all something we'll take you through in person here on site. Front locker, you've got the gas bottle in the front with reverse thread fitment going into the gas bottle and your gas tap on top. On the side of the regulator, you've also got a yellow gas shut-off valve, so if you ever need to isolate the gas supply, you can do that from there. And the pipework bolts to the top, as you can see. Maximum of 2 6-kilogram propane gas bottles is what you can carry on board a caravan. You can't carry any more than that, and again, if you only want to carry one bottle, you'd still have to carry a 6-kilogram bottle rather than the bigger style bottles. On the side of the van, you've got your Truma heating flue for the heating and hot water systems. That works a bit the same as the one on the side of your house. Also, on the bottom right hand side of the van, and the same on the left hand side at the front, you also got your wind down legs to stabilise the caravan when you're on site. You would never lift the caravan off the ground with these legs because it could potentially damage the floor of the caravan. You've then got your Truma water pump connection. So your Truma water pump, you pull back the blue trigger on the bottom and push it into the side of the van, and the same to release. And then the actual water pump drops down inside the aqua roll, as you can see here. You've then got your battery box with your 110 amp leisure battery on board, and you've got your mains power lead coming into the caravan. The motor mover power switch you see in there will be demonstrated to you when you're here on site to collect the caravan. The wheel nuts, like I said, the motor mover will be demonstrated, which you can just about see down the bottom there when you're here on site. And the wheel nuts will be torqued to the correct manufacturer spec, again before you leave site with the caravan. The fridge vents on the side of the van here allow the hot air out the side of the fridge unit. And on the right hand side, you've got a gas flue for the fridge system when it is running on gas. They're just there to let out the hot air out the side of the fridge and take in some cool air. On the side here, you've got your toilet flush tank, which takes 3.5 litres of water and a cap full of the pink fluid. In the bottom, you've got your toilet waste cassette, which you lift up the orange handle here and pull the cassette towards you. The orange neck is the neck where you tip the waste away, so you'd remove this cassette completely from the side of the van. And on the back, you've got an orange pressure relief button, so when you're tipping the waste away from the cassette, it doesn't spit and splatter back at you. The cap here is also a measure for the blue fluid, and in this cassette you'd put 1 litre of water and a cap full of the blue fluid prior to use to break down any waste that goes in there. On the back of the van, as you can see, you've got your wind down legs again, and again you would never lift the van with these, they are just there for stabilising, and again you've got one on either side. On the door side of the van, at the front, you've got a storage locker to allow you to store different bits and pieces in there. You'd open it up with the key, and then you could access the storage through there. Again, then at the bottom, you've got your wind down leg. Going on the inside of the van now. Above the door, as you come in, you've got the main control panel with your mains power switch just here. So when you connect it to mains or 12-volt battery, you'd press the button here. You've got your internal lights, your awning light, your battery level voltage, and your water pump run. So the water pump is the first major thing inside the caravan I'm going to explain. Underneath the seat on the right hand side, at the front of the van, you will see that you have a yellow valve down on the floor. That yellow valve is essentially the water drain down valve. So that valve, when it is parallel with the floor as it is at the moment, will allow you to fill the water system on board the caravan. If that valve was open and upright towards the bottom of the seat, it would actually drain all of the water out of the system. So to fill it, you'd have your aqua roll connected on the outside, as you've already seen. You'd come inside, make sure the valve is parallel with the floor, and then you come over to every tap on board the caravan, so whether that be the sinks or the shower. You will actually notice I've already filled the caravan up with water. However, to fill it, you'd open them all up on the hot side to get the water through the system. So you'd open them all up before you turn on the water pump. Same with the sink and the same with the shower. And then you come to the control panel above the door and press the water pump button just here till the green light. So press it once and the green light will appear. And then when that water system is filling, you'd leave all the taps open, and to start with, it would spit and splatter some water out of the taps. The reason for that being is that it would need to get the air out of the system, and once the water is running continuously out of each tap on board the van, you can shut all the taps off, and you'd be able to then start warming the water on board the caravan. So like I said, all the taps open, drain down valve shut, water pump turned on above the door, and obviously your aqua roll connected on the outside to fill the water system. The control panel, as you come in the van on the left hand side, is your main control for your heating and hot water. So you'd press the central button, which would take you into the options. And the first icon you see flashing here is the internal room temperature. So you'll press the button again and then spin the dial to the relevant temperature you want the caravan to be. For instance, you see here 20 degrees. You'll press the button in the center and that will set the heating and hot water to heating to the desired temperature. When the icon's flashing again here, you can spin the dial again and you can come across to your water temperature. And again, you can press the button and you can select Eco, Hot or Boost. So the Boost is for when you're showering, Hot for washing up, and Eco for keeping the system warm when you are, not using the water system. Essentially, you can have it on Eco so it just ticks over and it's warm and ready to go when you need it. To set it again, you'd press the central button and it'd start warming up on the selected power source that you have selected. So that's what this icon is just here. So again, when the water temperature icon is flashing, you can spin across to the right and you'll be able to select the power source you want to use. So at the moment here on site, we've got 2000 watts of power coming into the caravan. You can have 1000 watts of power coming into the caravan. Mix 2, which is 2000 watts of power and gas at the same time. Mix 1, which is 1000 watts of power on its own and gas at the same time. And then you've got gas on its own. To select any one of these, you'll press the central button and that will select the power source you want to use. When the power icon here is flashing, again, you can go across to the right and you can select the blown air heating, which works a little bit like the blown air heating in your car. And you've either got Eco or high fan speed. So for a moment, we're just going to put it on Eco. When you select that, the fans will kick in and the vents around the caravan, a bit like you've got in your car, will allow the heating to come out them vents around the van. You would need to make sure one of these options is turned on if you are using the heating. If not, the heat won't come out of the system or come around the system as you'd expect it to. Down the bottom here, you've got 3 icons, as you can see. The first one here is your timing for your heating and hot water. You've got your clock for the control panel and your options, advanced options in here. For these 3 at the bottom, we do advise you read the manual, because if I tried to explain these in a video, it'd probably take me around 2 to 3 hours. The cooker works very much like your household cooker. You've got the electric ring on the back, and when you're here on site, the gas bottle will be connected at the front so you can try it all and make sure you're happy with everything. But your 3 gas hobs with your igniter on the front just here, light in the corner to let you know when the electric ring is on, and then your gas controls for the oven, grill and hob going across the front. We always advise that you never shut the hob lid until the hob is completely cool, because it could potentially smash the glass lid on top if you did shut it while it was warm. Fridge system, you've got a power button on the left hand side here, which you turn on. At the moment, as you can see, we're on mains power and the fridge is chilling on mains. To control the temperature on mains or gas, use the thermometer button on the right hand side. To operate the fridge on gas, you turn the gas on at the front of the van, and before you try and ignite it, you'd actually also ignite the hob on gas, because that is the last point on the gas system. So once you've got gas through to there, every other component will have it. To ignite it on gas, you'll very simply press the gas option on the front of the fridge. If it failed to ignite, it would flash the pilot light just here, and it would also flash the warning light on this side. If it did ever do that, it could potentially mean that there's no gas in the bottle, the gas isn't turned on, or on very rare occasion, it could mean that there is an issue with the gas system on the fridge. If you do ever get this and it won't ignite after trying to redo it, or trying to reignite it for a second time, please do give us a call here at the Caravan Company and we'd be more than happy to help. When you connect it to the car and you're towing down the road, you can actually use the fridge as a cool box to keep the beers and wine nice and cold. But as you can see at the moment, I'm not actually connected to a car, so in the moment when I press the 12 volt button, it's going to flash red at me to indicate it isn't operating. You won't need to have the power on above the door if you're towing down the road. You just come inside and turn the fridge on, then press the 12 volt option on the right hand side. Like I said, the fridge will operate as a cool box and not a fridge at that point. The last thing I'm going to demonstrate on the inside of the caravan is the toilet system at the front of in the back of the van. You've got an electric flush on top of the toilet, which you press here. You've got a full indicator light just here to let you know when the toilet waste cassette is full. And down the front of the toilet, you've got a grey waste handle, which you can pull open, as demonstrated. to allow the toilet waste to go straight into the cassette, as it isn't like a normal toilet where you've got water in the bowl or in the bottom of the loo. But then you've got the flap there to allow that waste down. When you are removing the toilet cassette from underneath the van, you would need to make sure the toilet cassette is pointing straight across the van towards the door, as in the door of the caravan, to make sure you can remove the toilet cassette. If you didn't put the toilet back in the central position as it is now, it would actually lock the toilet cassette in place and not allow you to remove it. Like I said, the toilet does turn for your convenience, but please always remember to put it back just so you can remove that cassette. So that is the Lunar Stellar. If you have any further questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call here at the Caravan Company. We appreciate you buying a caravan from us. And if you need anything else, please do give us a call here, and we'd be more than happy to help. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.